All right. So this was the trade we took yesterday, which I already posted the video when we are about to take the trades. So we are still running in profit. We are currently running in profit. So clearly we have done 1:5. So one is to 5 risks to reward. We have done 1:5 to reward, and I've taken some profit from this market already. I am anticipating price to get to this very point. So to get to this very point, which is the support zone. So this happens to be my overall take profit, which is about 1:10 risk to reward, 1:10 RR. So this happens to be my overall take profit. But I've taken most of my profit around here, around 1:5, which is I'm satisfied with it. But I'll be holding my little position until this very point. So when price gets to this point, I'll be anticipating for a buy. Why? But this happens to be a major support. But until then, I will know what to do. And as well, I'm still expecting price. If price can push up to this very point, I don't think it's possible. So this is another place I have a confidence for a sell. Why am I anticipating to sell from here? Because right at this very point, I have my psychological level. I have my psychological levels. I have my trend line. Then I have a resistance level. I have a resistance level right at this point. So I already have 3/4 confluence. So if price should come back to this very point, I'll go in for a sell again. But from the look of things, I don't think price will come to this point. I don't just think so. Price will come to this point again. So what I'm expecting price to do right now is for price to come to this very point from double bottom, then a buy. Because if you should go to higher time frame, let's go to 4 hours time frame. You can see that clearly I have a very strong support zone right at this very point. Strong support zone right at this very point. And there is other things to look out for. The time right now is this 6 a.m. London time. So if you should go to 15 minutes time frame, it will be 8 o'clock. So this is 8 o'clock. And I normally look at for the top from 8 a.m. London session. I don't do anything in the market until it's 8 a.m. I'll just sit and watch what the market is doing until 8 a.m. So if we should backtest things up, if we should backtest 8 a.m., you will see that price mostly give us entries around 8 a.m. and New York session 14 p.m. London time. So if we should backtest that, you can see that right at this very point, this is 14 p.m., 14 p.m. So we have this confirmation for the drop. So right at this very point, 8 a.m., we have this confirmation for a drop. Right at this very point, 14 p.m., we have this confirmation for a buy. So 8 a.m. as well, we have this confirmation for a sell. Then just like that, 8 a.m. as well, we have this confirmation for a sell. So if we should backtest this, you'll find out that around 8 a.m., 14 p.m., those time, which is 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., 8 a.m. London session, and 2 p.m. New York session. These are times I normally look at for interest. Now this is 8 a.m. So, and there are other things to look at for, which is the way I analyze. If 8 a.m. opens and there's no setup for me, so this is 8 a.m., I'll be expecting price to go to either a support or resistance zone. Then I'll start looking at to either buy or sell from that support or resistance zone. So this happens to be 8 a.m. candle, and clearly there's nothing to do right now unless I want to go in for a sell. But there's no confluence around here for me to sell. I know I think the price will drop from this very point to this very point. I think price will drop from here to this very point. So if price drops from here to this very point, which is 8 a.m., I'll be expecting price to give me an entry, give me some chart patterns around here for me to go in for a buy. But if there's no setup today, fine. I'll be coming back on Monday to look for setup. So clearly this week has given us 1 setup, 2 setup. So I got to set up this week. So this week has given us 2 setup, and this one, but this one hits my break even. So I sold around this very point. So that around this very point, I overheld this trade. So I didn't actually make much profit from this trade. I was expecting price to keep dropping to this very point. Then when price got to this very point, it reversed. And by then I already moved my stop loss to break even. Then clearly it hit my stop loss, but I took some profit around here and left the trade. And right at this very point, I went in for a sell. So I sold around this very point and stop loss was hit. So when I sold around this very point, stop loss was hit. I entered too early. So my entry was something like this. So my stop loss 20 pips. Stop loss was 20 pips. So normally the target 1:4, but my stop loss was hit on that trade. I lost that very trade. So this week we already had 1, 2, 3, then one stop loss. But at the same time, one break even, one take profit, two take profit, and one stop loss. So this week finally was still profitable, and that was it. So clearly, the price is still dropping, and I'm still expecting price to drop to this very point. I'm not going to be selling because if I should go in for a sell, price might spike up. I don't have a confidence. Yeah, there is no edge for me to go in for a sell. I have to wait for price to get to this very point before I'll be looking out to buy or anything until then. So if there's no setup this 8 a.m., I'll be waiting till New York session, which is 2 p.m. to start looking out for a potential setup. So that's it.